Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Pavan, an Olympian and beach volleyball world champion and a longtime professional indoor player.
And I'm Adam, former indoor player and coach, current beach volleyball coach, and most importantly, Sarah's husband.
The last several episodes have been excellent.
Excellent.
And today we're hoping for another one. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, we're going to meet more players and more people for me to forget.
I am Adam's guide dog when it comes to names.
Yeah. I will have you know I am spouting off the Karasuno players like it's nothing now, though.
Except Tsukishima. You slow down as you're about to start saying his name and hope that I'll fill it in.
Well, no, it takes me a second. Tsukishima and Suki.
It's the same.
Sorry, what's the manager's name?
Yachi?
No, the teacher advisor.
Takeda?
Yeah, I just sometimes those get mixed up in my brain, but yeah, pretty good. I'd say I'm pretty good.
You're getting better. Today we're watching season 2, episode 7 of Haikyu called Moonrise.
I'm a little lost on that one, to be honest. I love the titles. They always have some sort of significance, but I can't put my finger on this one.
We've kind of talked about the significance of this in the past, but I will bring it up later if you don't figure it out.
Okay.
We're going to see, last episode we saw everybody working on all their own stuff, so will we see them trying to put it together this episode? I don't know.
I'm kind of assuming we're going to end up in Tokyo, but maybe we'll see a few practices before they go. We'll see what actually happens.
Yes. All right. Let's dive in. Season 2, episode 7, Moonrise, is coming right now.
Oh, found the title. Moonrise. That's tough.
Of course, Suga's the one who noticed.
Yeah.
This happened last time they went to Tokyo, too.
Your favorite. Oh. I like that.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
Get it.
Let's do it. Just out.
That's a good serve.
Oh. Oh dear, jumped a little early.
And a little far. Was that Bogota?
Bokuto.
Oh yeah.
Oh. I thought he blocked that.
So did I.
That analogy of the I can speak, trust me. Omnivorous crows. Perfect.
Yeah.
No matter where they are, they can rely on those like stronger than them for food and things like that. And that's what you're seeing. They've observed all of these different traits of different teams and have kind of adapted them to make use of in their own way.
And each person has taken a little something from like the top players of each of the teams. I love that. And it's interesting. So I was curious how this episode was going to play out, and I'm thankful is the wrong word, but like,
you're happy that it's realistic.
Yes.
Because change is not like this.
Exactly.
It's like,
and once again, the writer has done such a good job of understanding like what the progressions are, how you improve, what actually happens. Like, it's just so spot on. And for the other coach to realize it is like really cool to see. And for them to pick out that Tsukishima is the only one who kind of hasn't changed anything. Kudos to, like, he's really paying attention.
So, this might be the time to tell you, or remind you rather, that the word Tsuki means moon.
Yeah, no, I'm just struggling with the names. I'm not at the name meanings yet. So I appreciate the reminder, and that was nowhere in my brain.
Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, hills.
Refreshing sprint up the grassy hill.
Hills are no fun. Or the most fun, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, you got crushed 25-12.
Bam!
相手の攻撃手段が絞られたところをブロックで仕留める。サービスエースの次に理想的な攻撃の形だよな。サーバンドブロック。クソたらごめ。ブロッコリー。やめろ。食べ物に失礼だ。なんでだ。
Told you, you look like a vegetable.
見事先輩。いっそすがすがしいな。こんなにダッシュしたのは鵜飼監督がいた時以来っす。ちょっと
Oh. Yamaguchi's the best.
今からサーブやるんだけど、ツッキーは
僕は風呂入って寝るから。
ツッキーは何か自主練とかしないのかなって。
練習なんて嫌ってほどやってるじゃん。がむしゃらにやればいいってもんじゃないでしょ。
そうだね。そうなんだけどさ。
ちょっとそこのガラスのメガネよ。ちょっとブロック飛んでくんない？
僕もう上がるので失礼します。
何？ブロックなしでスパイク練習しても意味ないんだよ。頼むよ。
なんで僕なんですか？袋谷の人。
僕とさんがスパイクの再現前からみんな早々に逃げるんだ。
俺はこいつ鍛えるのに忙しいんだよね。
だから俺がブロック飛びますってば。
うるせえ。ここまでレギュラー入ってなかったらまずそれなりのレシーブ力作ろう。
Fair.
見えないかもしんないけど、こいつ全国で5本の指に入るくらいのスパイカーだから練習になると思うよ。
3本の指にはギリギリ入らないですね。
落とすくらいなら上げないでください。それに君、ミドルブロッカーならもう少しブロックの練習した方がいいんじゃない？
Just a little needle. He knew exactly what he was doing.
全然速攻合わなかった。練習しないと。来月までに使い物になるようにしないと。まずいな。あ、速攻の練習やる？ボール出します？
She's great.
行きますみたいなノリなんだよ。
She just wants them to be friends again.
Mhm.
シャス。
I feel like I have a pretty good read on most of the Karasuno characters, but Tsukishima is he's a little he's different. I don't know that I fully like understand his motivation or his rationale yet. Like he's very logical. He doesn't do anything like kind of by emotion. He's very practical in how he approaches things. I don't think it's that he doesn't care. Because he's like you can see by that last scene, like he's obviously driven to be good. It's just he's very measured. I know you can't say anything.
I'm just gonna say, be patient.
No, I mean I've liked him from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know why. Sure.
No, but I have.
Yeah.
And so, but I think you need like on a team you need a bit of a. You need somebody like that. And quite frankly, I mean, if we were going to pick team dynamics, I was kind of like him. In the sense of like, all of our teammates always hung out together and always, like they were very close, like on the weekends and stuff. And I wasn't always in that group on our team, let's say.
Okay, sure. You're picking one aspect,
No,
but like
I get
you
it.
also worked very hard.
Yeah.
And you loved to practice. You were like encouraging, like you in the smallest way.
Sure.
You were like him.
But I guess just from like a personality standpoint of I'm just trying to kind of wrap my head around his decision making.
Adam doesn't like when he can't figure people out.
Well, that is also true.
That bothers him a lot because he's very observant and intuitive.
So I'm curious to see how this training goes. I'm curious to see like a little more fire come out of him and like for him to kind of get on board with the like team improvement a little bit. So we'll see what happens.
Oh gosh. That was the most unathletic underhand serve technique.
He's got some work to do.
Oof.
That was a
That's
sharp
a good
angle.
How much? Drop your hand in, dude.
ストレート
賢くかつ冷静でもさあ
1枚ブロックに勝っただけっすね。
嘘だ
A one-on-one. Congratulations.
2枚ショート
死んだ。
行くぜ
Oh, that's a pretty good block.
Yeah.
ストレートをきっちり締めとけよ。
Oh, that hand's coming in. Gotcha! Yeah.
メガネ君さ読みはいいんだけどこう弱々しいんだよなブロックが腕とかぽっきり折れそうで心配になるガッと止めないとガッと
僕まだ若くて発展
No excuses.
筋力も身長もまだまだこれからなんで。
悠長なこと言ってるとあのチビちゃんにいいとこ全部持ってかれんじゃねえの同じポジションだろ
それは仕方ないんじゃないですかね。ひなたと僕じゃ元の才能が違いますからね。
あ、またスパイク練習ですか。
I don't like that one bit.
おいリエ転がってんじゃねえレシーブゲヤクさんゲってなんだ
じゃあ僕、お役御免ポイント失礼します。
なおい
なんか地雷踏んだんじゃないですか、フロアさん。
ふっくらして大失敗じゃん挑発上手のブロー君いやだって思わないだろガラスノのチビちゃんは確かに得体が知れないし脅威だけど技術も経験もひよこだろうそれにあの身長だしそれは身長も頭脳も持ち合わせているメガネ君がチビちゃんを対等どころか叶わない存在として見てるなんてさ
くそ、サポーター忘れてきた。
もう一回もう一回ちょっとタイミング早すぎんじゃないですかそうかじゃあ次ワンテンポ遅らせるわ
行きます。
たかが部活だ。なんでそんな風にやるんだ。そんな風にやるから。後で苦しくなるんだ。
The fear of failure. What do you think?
I find it interesting. I think Bakuto's observation of Kuro's character and how he operates is interesting. Like, he is a provocateur.
A needler.
Yes, and he was trying to manipulate Tsukishima into being more motivated, and he thought by comparing him and Hinata that would get a rise out of Tsukishima to be like, no, I'm better. But for Tsukishima to just back down and be like, yeah, he is better. And to see just like the confusion on Sakuro's face, it was like, wait, that's it?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I found that interesting. But when Kuro stepped in and just like dropped his hands into the angle, you could see Tsukishima look at him like,
What was that?
yeah, how did you know?
Yeah.
So like you can see that the curiosity is there, but there's just like this wall up.
Well, and I think, a lot of that interaction is interesting. So he's obviously smart. He pays attention. He does well in school. He's physically gifted, just being taller. But there's definitely A, some insecurity, but B, I think he's probably a little bit of a perfectionist. And so where things don't go right, I don't know whether it's for his own personality, but he gives himself an out. He's more talented than me. Or why do they care so much? Like, it's a safety mechanism from not feeling that disappointment and that pain. He's not all in yet.
It's so easy to say, I don't care.
Yeah.
And the people, like, to protect yourself.
Yeah. Because nobody wants to feel like when you fail, it hurts and it sucks. And to put everything into something and to fail is a horrible feeling. But the rewards...
It takes a lot of courage,
Yeah.
too. Like, to put yourself out there and to give everything you have, or to verbalize how much you want something and how hard you're working for something, it takes a lot of courage, because there's always the possibility that you'll fail. And like that what if, you know, can hold a lot of people back.
Yeah. I hope that he can find a little bit of, it's not growth, it's not maturity, but just like buy-in to taking that risk, to seeing how good he could be.
おい月島もっと食え持たねえぞ。
西野屋さん、胃は大きいんですね。
なんだと本体をさせる。ちょっとやめてください。壊れます。大地にめくられるぞ。
Nobody cares, but Daichi's gonna get mad. Keep trying.
They're gonna be in shape.
As my dad always said to me, if you can't be good, at least be in shape.
That was always my motto.
皆さん新鮮高校の父兄の
Watermelon!
差し入れです
Seed spitting contest.
もう一個いいっすか。ざっす。
あれ月島くん一切れだけでいいの
ごちそうさまでした。
昔いっぱい食って腹壊してさ。ああすまん。なんだ。昨日オタクのメガネ君の機嫌損ねちゃったかもしれない。
Oh dear.
あの月島が成り行きとはいえ自主練に付き合ったのか。で何かあったの。オタクのチビちゃんに負けちゃうよって挑発で。確かに月島は日向に引け目を感じてるところがある。
派手に暴れるのは日向の役目。その日向が公園に回ってる間、極力無難
You
に
see, sun and moon.
Yeah. That's cool.
ことじゃないですか。
それ関係あるかわかんないですけど、うちの姉ちゃんが
そういえばさ
あ
合宿の試合の時名前聞こえたんだけど今のガラスの月島ってやつだよね
おおいるメガネなクソなもんだよ可愛くねえんだよ
その月島ってやつさ兄ちゃんいない
知らねえよ自分の話とかするやつじゃねえし
私がガラスのにいた時つまりランバレが一番強かった時期かな
小さな巨人がいた頃
He's got an older brother who is really good.
長身の月島って人がいた気がするんだよね
月島の兄貴が。
でもわかんねえっすよ名字が同じだけの別人かもしれません
Watermelon on the face. Clearly very in tune with that. Food on the face.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh, crushed again.
まだまだあと10億はいけますよ。いや勝とうよ。
I saw he's a sweetheart.
サーブいい感じになってきた。
ありがとうございます
いやもっと成功率上げないとな。
東根さん、嫌じゃないんですか。
何が。
下から強烈な才能が迫ってくる感じ。
あまあ心は休まらないかな。
日向は多分まだレースって言った時にこだわってますよね。
そうだな。だから今のままじゃダメだって言い出したんだな。まあおかげで俺も他の連中も火がついた感じだ。
気をつけないとまた集中しすぎた日向に噛みつかれますよ。
ああスパイクに飛んだ時に見つかったあれか。俺と月島はポジションが役割的に日向とライバル関係に近いからひよこみたいだった日向が日に日に成長するのを人一倍感じるんだよな。でも俺は負けるつもりはないよ。レフトレフト
It was subtle, but not so subtle.
I mean, there was a bunch in that little sequence there.
What stands out to you?
I mean, Psycho mentioning the brother.
Yeah.
I think is big.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, Kuro thought to address it with the older players from Karasuno.
Do you think that was strategic or just like honest conversation with somebody he respects?
I think it's honest conversation because you see them even like wanting to train together after hours.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that even when they were asking Tsukishima to come practice with them, it's just like so cool how they're technically opponents in like the national scale, but they're like working together to get better.
Yeah, I've actually never experienced that, which I think is really cool.
But even like Asahi gets, you know, made fun of a little for being too soft, for being too sensitive, for, you know, XYZ, but like I think that statement there at the end showed that like he does have a backbone and he does take pride in his title as the ace, and he's not just gonna like roll over and like hand it over to someone willingly.
Yeah, and that I like that quiet pride. It's not in your face, but like there's a little jam there. You know, minus the headband, there's a little jam there.
The string.
No, I like that, and I think, you know, I think when you have, if the older sibling thing is true, like that goes one of two ways. You either see the younger sibling be better than the older sibling because they just went out to play and they always played with better people with their younger sibling, or they get stuck. Like if the older one was really good, they get stuck in the shadow and they just feel like they're always being compared to other people, and it can be debilitating.
So what do you think this situation is?
I think his older brother was probably really good. And I think that he's been compared to a lot of people. Maybe his brother was more outgoing. Maybe his brother was more talented. Maybe his brother was taller. And there's always been that, well, hey, your brother did this, your brother did that. And that just, like, that comparison is constantly there for him. And he's always looking at somebody else. What if he's better? What if he's doing this? And it's just a cycle in his brain. So we'll see.
We will see.
There we go.
目ざといな。悪かったよ。
先生は月島どう思う？
真面目にやってると思いますけど。
合格点を取っていても100点を目指さないって感じなんだよな、月島は。別に熱血を求めてるわけじゃねえけど、このまま実力で抜かれていくならレギュラー変えることになる。コートに立つのは試合に勝てるメンバーだからな。貴重なチーム一の長身だ。月島がブロックの要になってくれれば守備のレベルがぐっと上がるんだけどな。
なるほど。
カバーカバー。任せろ。
Oh.
すいません。
みんな気合入ってますね。みんな今までにないくらいやる気に満ちてるんだけど、たまにちょっと怖いくらいです。前回みたいな接触は大怪我につながりかねないから。
レフト来るぞ。
So. We're counting on you.
少し短い。
Do not.
俺のボールだ。
Yeah, baby.
That's it. Through a triple block.
Find that hole, baby.
予想以上。チーム内であろうとお互いがライバルであるという空調感は成長に必要不可欠だがチーム内がブロー時代になってもともことないそこを一本引き締めてみせたなカラスノのエース
Yes. He's still the boss.
Good.
言ってる。
Get up.
自主練だ。
今日も華麗なる先輩。相変わらずサバサバしてるね。好きしますか？あいつはこういろいろやったらやれんじゃねえかって思いますよね。いろいろってこうもったいない188センチ。えい、メガネ君。今日もスパイク練習付き合うかね。すみません。遠慮してください。お、ブロー。まだ何も言ってない。なんでお前袋谷のエースの人と知り合い？なんで断んの？もったいない。
僕は君と違ってスタミナバカじゃないんだ。
なんだよ。なんだよ月島よ。せっかく袋谷のエースの人練習誘ってんのに断ってんの？ああ信じらんねえ。
ひなた、あのさ、ひなたなら今の月よりなんて言う？あ？影山とかエアツさんの時みたい
何も言わないけど。だって月島バレーやりたいのかわかんねえわ。やりたくないやつにやろうぜって言っても仕方ないじゃん。あーくそー。あんな身長持ってるくせによ。俺があの身長だったらあんなことやこんなことするのに。
ツッキーはバレーは嫌いじゃないはずなんだよ。そうじゃなきゃガラスに来ない。
山口は山口なら月島になんて言う？
It's always interesting to like, he's clearly different than everybody else on the team. Like he's got a different personality, he's got different things that he thinks about. You know, he's just a little bit on the outside. And just figuring out, I think especially at this age, you only have one perspective. Like you haven't lived enough to be able to like see things from other people's perspectives most of the time. And so everybody's like, hey, well, what would I do? What would I do? This works all the time. And somebody just needs to connect with him. And I hope it's Yamaguchi.
Yep.
Yes. You know, because he seems like he really cares about him and that they're pretty close friends. So hopefully he can kind of draw that passion out and figure out, like, how do I connect with the guy that's maybe, you know, a little distant or walls are up or a bit of a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Because I think it's true. Like, if he can become a force on their team, he gives them a really good option.
100%. And I'm just going to roll it back to that game where Sahi stepped up.
Yeah.
And everybody backed off. Because they just knew
Yeah.
he meant business.
Well, and it can't go unnoticed. Like, he not made a good decision, right? Like, he stayed out of the way.
He learned his lesson.
Yeah, it's growth, right? I mean, not doing something is sometimes the right play. So no, it's good to see. It's good to see. I will say the other thing. Like, if he's growing that much at this age, like it's kind of exhausting. Like, your body hurts. You're not super coordinated.
Oh my gosh, that is not what is happening with Tsukishima right now. Let's not.
No, that's fair. But he did say the stamina thing. So
No.
you think that's an excuse?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Stop it.
Fair enough. Okay, I just figured I'd throw that out there.
Pavan pause, great as always. Could have just waited literally 2 more seconds. Excellent. Very interesting episode. I love that they're digging into Tsukishima because he is a very polarizing character from the get-go. Season 1. Like, yeah. So I like that they're diving in and exploring him a little bit. We'll see if Adam's prediction is right. They obviously brought the brother up for a reason, but let's see if the brother-sibling dynamic holds true as Adam thinks here. We'll find out.
Yeah. I like that they're kind of struggling, but they're figuring it out. I like that everybody on the team is concerned kind of in their own way. Some people are disappointed, some people don't understand, but like at least they're aware of the situation. You know, Asahi I feel like he's kind of working his way into building that relationship and like giving him a little bit of encouragement or showing him a different way. I hope that over the course of the week they win a match. Like,
poor guys.
we have to go. They've run a ton of sprints.
I mean, yeah.
But again, they changed a lot of things. Like, it's not easy.
And as we were saying earlier, I'm glad to see the struggle.
Yeah.
It would be too unrealistic to see them like excel right now at all of these new things. So I do like that it's realistic. And if they do manage to win a set, like, that's a huge accomplishment.
100%.
And it will say a lot about their trajectory. So I'm excited for next episode.
Me too.
I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely.
Let us know your thoughts. No spoilers, okay? Absolutely no spoilers. Helpful comments only. But we would love to hear what you have to say. We would also be so excited if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned because we are going to dig a little deeper next week. Thanks, guys.